Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Nikola Vucevic had a great season and this sparked the Lakers' interest in signing him to fill the gap in the starting lineup. In addition to Vucevic being a great center, he also brings solid scoring to the team and this would fit perfectly with LeBron and Doncic. Rumors: Lakers want to sign Nikola Vucevic, who was a big standout this season. After losing in the first round of the 2025 Western Conference playoffs, the Los Angeles Lakers will enter the offseason with some question marks about their roster moving forward. Whether it be due to LeBron James only getting older and possibly retiring in the near future, or the lack of athletic players around Luka Doncic, the Lakers have to get busy. The most obvious need is a center. In a recent trade proposal from Bailey Bassett of Clutch Points, the Lakers would land one in the form of Nikola Vucevic of the Chicago Bulls, who is coming off a very good season. His proposal would move on from Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and a 2031 first-round pick, which would be lottery protected. One of the centers most frequently mentioned as a trade candidate is Nikola Vucevic. The Bulls are headed in a new direction, as they've already parted ways with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine in the last year. Vucevic is likely the next to go. The two-time All-Star is not necessarily the perfect fit in Los Angeles because the team could use more defense and rim protection from their starting center, but the Lakers might have to take what they can get. Even with his lack of defense and a statistical drop-off since his days in Orlando, Vucevic is still a very good center. He has scored more than 16 points per game in each season since 2016-17. Vucevic is also coming off of his best season shooting the ball, as the Montenegrin shot 40.2% from deep this year. Surrounding playmaking aficionados like Doncic and James with shooters is always smart, he wrote. Underscore 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 underscore. Why Vucevic makes sense. Vucevic has been at the center of trade talks over the past few years, and the Los Angeles Lakers make perfect sense for him. He only has one more year on his deal, so if it didn't work out well for the Lakers, they could move on from him. The veteran All-Star is coming off an 18.5 points per game season, shooting 40.2% from three-point range on 4.4 attempts. Underscore 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 underscore. Can Lakers find perfect center? The Los Angeles Lakers shouldn't expect to find a perfect center to pair with Doncic, given their limited assets. Perhaps another team will bail them out like the Dallas Mavericks did with the Doncic trade, but the Lakers aren't exactly in a perfect position to make a blockbuster deal. However, according to Jovan Buha of The Athletic, the Lakers' need for a center to pair with Doncic is clear, and he's reportedly looking to find an athletic one to give him a lob threat. One of the biggest issues for the Lakers in their first-round loss to the Timberwolves was the lack of a playable center. Jackson Hayes, who emerged in January as the Lakers' starting center after Davis got injured and was traded, struggled to stay out of foul trouble and impact games in the playoffs against Minnesota's size and physicality. When Doncic and Pelinka met in the days after the trade, Doncic told him that he likes playing with a vertical lob threat, similar to Derek Lively II and Daniel Gafford in Dallas, and believes that's the key to unlocking his offensive potential, he wrote. Unfortunately, Vucevic wouldn't be that, but he'd bring other things to the Lakers that they didn't have during the 2024-25 season. Will LeBron quit on Lakers? Why a change of scenery may be in play after brutal playoff exit. The Los Angeles Lakers suffered a demoralizing 5-game defeat in the first round of the 2025 NBA playoffs at the hands of Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves, sending the franchise scrambling for solutions prior to the 2025-26 campaign. Los Angeles's quick elimination in a loaded Western Conference doesn't bode well for their immediate future, but general manager Rob Pelinka will surely be scouring both the trade and free agency markets to make necessary upgrades to support Luka Doncic and an aging LeBron James, who would be entering his 23rd NBA season next year. James' desire to win has remained a pillar of his personality and as one of the core motivations for continually extending his illustrious career, and a convincing loss to begin the postseason may see the four-time NBA champion and Finals MVP weigh his options for the next few months. If the 21-time All-Star were to entertain the idea of leaving the Lakers for a more competitive position from a basketball standpoint, recent reports have indicated that it could all depend on his level of satisfaction with the organization. But if he decides to play longer and wants a Lakers extension to go along with a retirement tour, then team sources say that conversation will begin with a familiar question: is he still happy as a Laker? The Athletic's Jovan Buha and Sam Amick wrote Friday morning. Ever since James came to town in 2018, his relationship with the organization has hinged on the answer to that question. If the answer is yes this time, then there's a discussion to be had on that front. But if it's not, then the prospect of him finishing his career elsewhere could be in play. Only James truly knows how he sees it, and even he might not have clarity just yet, but the Lakers' inability to get out of the first round is evidence enough that they're a ways away from true title contention. At age 40, it's plausible to believe that the future Hall of Fame inductee could view the Lakers as a franchise that's not currently set up to win a title, even with the addition of Doncic prior to the February 6 trade deadline. By potentially choosing to decline a $52.6 million player option to remain with the Lakers for at least one more season, James could mull offers from some of the league's most promising organizations with the idea of competing for a championship until the wheels fall off. While the prospect of the generational talent joining an already stacked roster to win a fifth title is a fun one to consider, it still remains highly unlikely. In his 22nd regular season, James contributed 24.4 points, 8.2 assists and 7.8 rebounds on a 57.1% effective field goal percentage in 70 appearances for the Lakers. J.J. Redick praised outstanding Rui Hachimura for his playoff performance. Hachimura averaged 14.8 points and 7.2 rebounds in 36.9 minutes over 5 games, while also locking in on the defensive end trying to guard players like Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert. Rui Hachimura himself highlighted what the Lakers are missing after their Game 5 loss, but his head coach had nothing but glowing praise for him. "I thought Rui had an outstanding season, and he was incredibly important to what we were able to do this year. He was a vital cog on both sides of the ball," Redick said as per Mike Trudell. The games that he missed, it was apparent to the coaching staff how valuable he was. "Particularly in the last 2 games, I thought he played extremely well in the playoffs. I'm excited to see his growth. I think some of that is paint decision-making, some of that is working on his handles and his closeouts. But for a guy, of all the guys that we laid out what we expect from them, what we're asking them to do and starring in their role, he's up there at the top of the list. That's embracing that and starring in that role all year. That is high praise for Rui, and he's proved that he can be a reliable scoring option as well as lockdown defender on the biggest stage." Rui Hachimura could find himself on the trade block. The LA Lakers will be making significant roster changes in the coming offseason. GM Rob Pelinka admitted to significant roster issues after the playoff exit, meaning big changes are imminent. The 26-year-old shot over 41% from three-point range in the regular season. He continued that trend in the playoffs, making Rui's skill set a fairly coveted NBA asset. Hachimura will make $18 million during the 2025-26 season, making his salary quite tradable. In any potential deal for a superstar like Giannis Antetokounmpo, the former Wizard would surely be included. After his step-up this season, LA may not want to trade him, but with immediate results required in the new Luka era, Rui could definitely end up on the trade block. Lakers rumors: Luka Doncic's off-season plans revealed amid contract decision. Los Angeles Lakers star Luka Doncic reportedly plans to play for Slovenia in Eurobasket 2025 this offseason. It has been a whirlwind 2025 for Los Angeles Lakers star Luka Doncic, who was shell-shocked by his trade from the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers' surprising early exit from the playoffs at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves will give Doncic a bit more time off than expected, but he's still in line for a busy summer. ESPN's Dave McMenamin reports the Lakers star plans to play for Slovenia at Eurobasket 2025, which begins in late August. As McMenamin notes, Doncic will be accompanied by members of his body team, Slovenian national team strength coach Ants Masek and physiotherapist Javier Barrio Calvo, throughout the offseason. There was drama between Doncic's body team and the Mavericks, with his weight, conditioning, and recent injury woes playing a part in the blockbuster trade. The Lakers and their fans would surely prefer for Doncic to get healthy this summer and use the offseason to fully focus on getting in shape, but playing in Eurobasket is a big deal for him. And while there's injury risk from playing, perhaps Eurobasket will have him in better shape for the start of the 2025-26 season. Luka Doncic's Lakers contract situation. In addition to Eurobasket, Luka Doncic has a big contract decision to make. The Lakers can offer a 4-year, $229 million contract extension on August 2. He could also look to sign a 3-year, $165 million extension with a player option that would allow him to sign a larger max deal in 2028. McMenamin reports Doncic will take his time with his decision, but there's no evidence he wants out despite the ugly loss to Minnesota. Doncic has said publicly he wants to stick around, and a source told McMenamin he feels wanted in Los Angeles. LeBron James has no interest in trying to sway Doncic's contract decision and will let things play out. LeBron has his own decision to make on his future, but barring a big surprise, these two will likely be teammates again next season. Rich Paul defends J.J. Redick's decision to make no substitutions in second half of Game 4. As the Los Angeles Lakers begin a long summer, their elimination to the Minnesota Timberwolves was particularly frustrating as self-inflicted wounds led to their demise. J.J. Redick, who had been great all season, showcased that he was a rookie head coach in this first-round series. Despite a terrific debut season, Redick struggled to make necessary adjustments, particularly in crunch time on offense. There was no structure and isolation play led to poor shots at the end of the shot clock. Game 4 was Redick's boldest decision as he opted to play Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and Dorian Finney-Smith the entire second half. This decision was hotly debated when the Lakers went on to lose, but Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul defended the head coach, via NBA insider Chris Haynes. "You're trying to win the game. He's playing the players that he feels like can win the game. You can be a backseat driver all you want. The last thing you're thinking about is anyone being fatigued when you're in a do-or-die situation and trying to win the game. Just like you may be 300 pounds, but if you walk past that house and that dog come out that driveway, you're taking off and you're gonna have to hit that gate. And guess what? In a normal instance, you may not be able to hit that gate the same way, but out of fear, you may jump that gate in a single leap." Paul brings up a good point that this particular 5-man lineup was LA's most used lineup to close out games. But the issue was that fatigue caught up with them and they weren't able to hold on to a late lead while the bench rotation players watching on from the sidelines. While the decision was met with a lot of criticism, if the Lakers were able to come out with a win, then it may not have been a talking point. Frankly, Minnesota proved that the Lakers roster is not deep enough and does not have enough playoff-level players to beat upper-echelon opponents. That is what this offseason is about, rounding out a team that better suits Doncic, while bringing in more size on the wing and center position. With a more well-rounded roster, time will tell if these decisions made by Redick result in early playoff exits or if he will learn from his mistakes and be better in his second season. Rob Pelinka gives J.J. Redick vote of confidence. The Lakers have been looking for stability in terms of a head coach, and they believed J.J. Redick would be with the franchise for years to come. He provided immediate results with a 50-win season and secured a top 3 seed in an ultra-competitive Western Conference. Despite a disappointing postseason appearance, General Manager Rob Pelinka did not waver on his support of Redick following an all-around positive first season.